So hello and welcome to my first video. Today I'm gonna be discussing the Game of Thrones Season 6 finale and where the events that happened may lead to in Season 7 and Big Game. So first let's talk about King's Landing and what happened there. So the trials for Cersei Lannister and Loras Tyrell were being held, and we saw how Loras was there but Cersei was not. We saw Loras' trial and how over being in a cell, he had become pretty faithful and he wanted to be part of the faith, which the High Sparrow was very happy about because, you know, a big guy that's on our team, yay! But Margaery was of course not as happy because she thought that his brother was gonna just go back to live a normal life, but no, because he's in the faith now, so he's not supposed to live a normal life, not as she thought of it. Her plans didn't go as she thought they were gonna go. Now, after seeing how Loras is marked, Margaery starts to realize that Cersei hasn't arrived yet, and neither has Tommen, so she starts figuring out that something wrong and that something's gonna happen, and she tells the High Sparrow, he says, "What? Nothing's gonna happen? I'm a boss." It's fine. Well, he couldn't be more wrong about that, because Cersei had been building a plot for probably a long time, and we follow the other Lannister that's in the faith on his way through the tunnels beneath the faith building, and he's stopped by a kid, and then he sees the wildfire about to basically be light up, which means explosion. And so we see this moment that's so amazing. So it fascinates me. The previous moment before the explosion, we're seeing this editing between what's going on inside the building and what's going beneath when the Lannister is seeing all that's going through. He knows it's gonna happen, tries to stop it but he can't, and then just like the explosion happens. And that was amazingly done by VFX. Special effects and everything is so good. Now, of course, the thing didn't end up there. We saw two reactions. We saw Tommen's reaction and Cersei's reaction. So Cersei's was, of course, a happy one, like, yay, I have my enemies destroyed, I'm gonna rule, yay. And Tommen was not. I think he was thinking that he had failed as a ruler. He had basically let his mother, I think he knew, his mother was the one that had committed that big explosion. So he was like, I haven't been able to stop this, and Margaery, with thing he was very fond of, died there, so he just said, it's not worth living anymore, so he suicided, making the prophecy came true. The prophecy about the 3 children that Cersei was gonna have dying. And that's pretty powerful, because it means that the prophecy is true. So again, a reinforcement of magic in the world and about this supernatural stuff. That basically means that there's a lot of other prophecies that might come true as well, because this one has done. So we can check that out for the future. Now let's talk about the North. So there were a couple events in the North. We had, of course, Davis, who had found in the previous episode about Melisandre's murdering or lighting up, or however you want to put it, Stannis' daughter, who Davis was pretty fond of. And so he's, of course, really upset about that. He was not the biggest fan of Melisandre, and learning this new thing, of course, is not going to help. So he immediately tells Jon Snow because he wants him to act, and he knows he's gonna act appropriately. And so Jon Snow has to make a decision. What does he do with her? I think he's fond of her, so he punishes her in a light way, I'll say. Because, I mean, she has revived him, so that's a thing. But then, as well, now after coming back to life and seeing that there was no God and there was nothing after life, I think he has a lot of his faith, so he doesn't really believe that Melisandre is gonna help that much anyway. Now, another thing was about Sansa and Petyr Baelish. So Petyr Baelish, of course, we know him. He's a tricky character, and again, he is playing his role. And this time, he basically told directly something that everyone knew, is that he wants to be with her. He may have a little bit of a crush, maybe in love, because his mind is so complicated. We don't know if he's really in love or if he wants, if he just wants the power. Because if you actually think about his proposal, what he says is, I picture you and me sitting on the throne. So that means they're married, which is one thing, but they're on the throne, which means power. So does he want the marriage for the power or for the love and the power? I mean, for both or yes, for the power. And when she answers no, he starts again plotting and starts to playing with her mind, saying, you know, why is Jon Snow the one that should rule in the North? Why shouldn't you be the heir of the Starks? I mean, you're not the bastard. So that's what he's playing now. And maybe that little seed that he's planted, it's gonna be a thing to look out for next season. The relationship between Jon Snow and Sansa keeps developing. We'll see where it comes from. And of course, we saw that on the next scene where the North houses pledge alliance to Jon Snow, and she looks like happy but not 100%. She's really thinking about Littlefinger's talk. And now of course there are other two Starks. We have Bran and we have Arya. So Bran, well, he basically gave the fans what they wanted. It basically was a scene where pretty much the fans' theory R plus L equals J, which stands for Rhaegar Targaryen plus Lyanna Stark. It's equal to Jon Snow, so they are the real parents of Jon Snow. Actually, you know, it's cool theory and everything, and you can read a lot about it on the internet. I'm not gonna discuss that right now, but the scene pretty much stated that. It stated that effectively the mother of Jon was Lyanna, but we still don't know who the father is. Probably Rhaegar, but you know, they wanted to let it a bit open, so just to not really confirm it. And then Arya, well, Arya is doing pretty well right now, isn't she? She has started her revenge by the fish. She has killed him, and we have seen on that how her skills that she learned through these seasons, and especially in the House of Black and White, played a big role. Now, I want to talk about these two characters' future themes. I think both Bran, well, Bran is more obvious because basically he's just at the wall and he just has to cross to the other side. We'll see how that goes, but I think he's gonna reunite with his siblings, and I think Arya, after taking revenge, I don't know from everyone, but then she is gonna reunite as well with her siblings. So I think that's the point, getting the whole family of the Starks back. Well, what's left of it. Meereen. So we saw Daenerys starting taking decisions towards her Westeros career. She really wants to rule the throne, and so for that she needs to make some decisions that basically have been advised by Tyrion, who I think she has really learned to trust. She told Dario about, you know, I think you should stay here, and we are basically gonna break up because marriage is the way that things are done in Westeros for power, so sorry. And then when she makes this decision, it's clear that she trusts Tyrion, and so she actually names him Hand of the Queen. And Nora, I think she has really started to know him, so naming him Hand of the Queen, I think had a big impact emotionally in both characters for different reasons, but it was a big thing and a big moment for them. Then that big kind of scene where we saw the dragons and all the ships going to Westeros. So next season we're gonna see her in Westeros. Finally, that's cool. We'll see how that goes. She's gonna probably have to fight in the Iron Isles, but then she's probably gonna move on, and we'll see what happens then. We'll have this short scene that was short, but it was so intense. It has a lot of things, and it was really important, I think, to be there. We saw Olenna Tyrell talking with the Sands sisters. I don't know how to call them. I guess I'll call them that. And how they want revenge, and so that's Olenna. So they're gonna probably plot against Cersei, and we'll see where that goes to. And then, to end, we had Cersei on the throne, sitting on the throne. So now we have Queen on the throne with Cersei. I don't think she's gonna do a very good ruling. I mean, she's really powerful, but she's a bit of really evil, and after all the things that she's been through, I don't think she's really gonna be really kind. So we'll see where that goes, and we'll see what kind of wars and plots goes against her, because there's definitely gonna be some.